So the first thing that we wanted to start with today is Windows 10. When we do the elementary purchase this winter, all the computers are going to be Windows 10 devices. We need to start thinking about what we're going to do for secondaries to get their buildings up to Windows 10. And I've got some thoughts. I'm going to roll out my thoughts here, and then you guys can tell me why my thoughts are awful, or won't work, or if we can tweak them a little bit. And I thought maybe we could start from there as a jumping off point. My initial thought is we look for 3 to 6 people, maybe 7 people at each secondary building, and we upgrade their computers to Windows 10. I would be looking for volunteers based on your feedback from the people in this group. We all know the people in our buildings who maybe aren't technology pioneers, and maybe we don't want them to be the first ones with Windows 10. But if you guys have some people, then I would think we could start getting those done and upgraded by the second week of November. The thought would be then those 40 people, or however many it is, I guess not that many, 25 people, could run Windows 10 for about a month, and then we could come back, meet in early December. And what I'd like to do then over winter break is look at upgrading 1 lab per building. So then take some volunteers with some labs. Bubba, for instance, I know that you had said that you'd be willing to use your lab to do Windows 10. So then you could be maybe our South High lab that we did, but we could maybe look at doing 1 lab over winter break and then get some feedback in January as to how those labs worked, and then come back in February and roll out a plan for doing Windows 10 district-wide. Somebody in our office asked if my goal is to be done by summer, and it is absolutely not my goal. My goal is to be done by January 1st, 2017. So we've got about 2,200 machines, 2,100 machines, and we would have to turn around and get all those updated in the next 13 months, essentially. So I'm going to open that up for conversation and see what you guys think about Windows 10 in general.
Bill, can you hear me okay?
Yep, absolutely.
I just posted my question. I really don't think Windows 10 is going to be a big issue, because people can still click the desktop button to get to their desktop, and I really think it looks the same, other than it just does 5,000 more cool things if we want to use it. That's why I don't think it's going to be a big deal. That's my initial thought. So that's my question on what do you think is the biggest
Yeah, I agree with you. Bubba. I don't think it is that big of a difference. I think 95% of our users are going to have no problems with it at all. My biggest concern is that we have software out there that we just don't know that we have it, and we just kind of test it. And the best way that I've found to do that is to get it on a few machines and maybe start slow with 5 or 6 people per building and let them say, you know what, this software didn't work or this didn't work. But I agree with you. I don't think if we were going to Windows 8, I would say this is going to be a huge issue. But Windows 10 is very familiar. It's very similar to Windows 7, which we're coming from.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Well, I know at Papio South I could easily find people, and I'm more than happy to test my lab whenever we want to do that. And then if there's some things that you want us to do differently, hey, can you try this? Perfect, email me and we'll try it. And I have no problem doing that from my experimental end.
Okay. How about the other buildings? What are you guys thinking? I don't know who's talking. It sounds like you're very turned down. I don't know if we can turn your mic up. Joel, was that you? Okay, so it looks like Melissa just responded that they would have 3 or 4 teachers as well. Is there anybody out there that hates this thought? And I'll let people type in because it looks like some audio is not going as well as we'd hoped. I do know this makes for great video when we post it to YouTube.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
Are you not the only ones that can speak?
It looks like it. I mean, I've been unmuting mics, and then I know Tim, we tested his mic earlier.
Tim, can you hear us?
Yep, Joel.
Okay.
Joel, your mic, it says, is unmuted. And I thought I heard you talking, but it was really muffled. So yeah, here's Melissa's concern. I think it's a good concern. If you have a drop-in lab, for instance, that gets used for all teachers, then how do you do this without training all teachers? One of the thoughts I had on your labs, Melissa, when we first rolled out Windows 7. Bruce Nissen's lab is the first lab in the district we rolled Windows 7 to. He volunteered. He wanted to try it. He was my initial thought over in your building for a lab just because he has been pretty forthcoming in hey, I want to try new things. So he would be one option that I would have. So I've got some people saying they can't unmute their mics. I can unmute. So I just unmuted Bubba's. I'll unmute Melissa.
Yep, I'm working now.
Okay. Now, Leah, yours is saying that yours is unmuted already.
Brandon Robinson, your right is here.
Okay. Can you hear me, Bill?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would agree if Bruce is willing to.
Would the following teachers please report to the guidance office for a meeting? Mr. Burke, Ms. Ullery, and Mr. Callahan. To the guidance office, please.
Say that again, Melissa. That loudspeaker, I think, overtook it.
I said I would be all on board if Bruce is willing to convert his lab to Windows 10. That would be wonderful. I just agree that it needs to be one teacher piloting it so that they can see all the ins and outs.
Ms. Catterson, you have a call on Park 5. Ms. Catterson, Park 5.
Sorry, I should just unmute me quick or mute me when it happens.
Okay, so I think that is reasonable, Melissa. I think maybe I'm not hearing any opposition to no, absolutely don't do anything during the middle of the year or anything like that. So I think our first marching orders are we have to figure out what 4 or 5 teachers we're going to do in your building. So can each of you send me the list of the 4 or 5 teachers you want to do, and then I will get tickets put in. for those 4 or 5 people to have their machines upgraded. One of the things you may want to mention to those people is it is our intention. We have not been re-imaging computers. It's just been an in-place upgrade to Windows 10. So it's not like they have to worry about losing anything, although I would be extra careful and make sure like the stuff on my desktop was backed up somewhere just in case before they turn it in. But you might also have people who've already moved their stuff to OneDrive and it's not an issue at all. So if you guys could get me those lists in maybe the next week, we'll just start heading down the road of getting the first teachers done.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
If we have more than 4 or 5 teachers, like 10 or 15, is that okay? Or do you want us just to try 4 or 5?
My concern would be overdoing it, but I'm also open to the fact that I would rather have more people on board than less. I mean, the more people I can have who know Windows 10 by next year, the better off we are. So send me all the names you have, and if you've got 15 people and we don't think it's doable from our standpoint, I'll contact you individually. But I'd rather have all the names right now and start from there.
Okay, I was going to send either an all-staff email out and see what I get back, or just email like 4 or 5 people that I think would do it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep. That's my only concern with the all building email is, well, and you know your staff. I mean,
yeah.
If you get somebody who you think this is going to put them over the edge, but they say they want to try it, I think you may have to weigh that a little bit and say,
okay,
they should be in the second wave, or yeah, they're good in the first wave.
Okay.
Joel's question was, Bill, would you want us to be users as well? I definitely think everybody on this call should be moving up to Windows 10. So I'd hope that you put yourselves on the list. But if you don't, I completely understand that you've got things going on and you're busy and you don't want to be a guinea pig in the middle of a school year as well. Joel is typing something else in here, so I'm going to let that kind of go. If things go well, then like after winter break, if things go well over winter break, then the thought I would have is that over spring break we'll do some more labs, and then we'll just keep building off of that. So.
Hey, Bill, one thing, I don't know if this answers for everybody, but I know here we have in my lab and the one next to me, we have Adobe. Adobe Creative Suite, and then also the Certiport or the IT certificate.
Yeah, I know where you're going with that, Bubba. And maybe what we'd want to do is just do one machine that does Certiport, or one machine that does the Adobe stuff, and start with one and see how it goes. And then if it goes okay, then we could do the rest of the lab.
Okay, yep, that works.
All right, so everybody here is going to give me a list of staff members that want to do that in the next week. And then over the next few weeks or month, you'll start to think about what labs you want to start with. And Melissa, I'm like with Bruce, Melissa, I'm putting that ball in your court if you want to have that conversation with him. If you want me to, let me know. I'd be happy to stop over there and talk to him. But I'm going to assume that you guys are getting me that information. But again, if you need me to do anything, just let me know.
Yeah, I will have a conversation with Bruce. So
okay.
Let me talk to him first, and if there's other issues, then I'll direct him your way.
Sounds great. All right, I'm going to let Tim. Tim, do you just need to talk, or do I need to hand over a presentation to you?
No, I think I just need to talk as long as everybody can hear me, okay?
Okay, I'm going to let Tim talk Casper. I'm going to go see if I can fix Leah.
All right. So for those of you who are on Casper, Ann and I went to a conference last week, and we kind of found a better way to do some things that we think is going to make a better process for you guys, especially, Bubba, this probably pertains mostly to you. So right now when we push an app out, you guys put in the request, we push the app, it shows up on the iPad. But we have found that sometimes it doesn't push to all the iPads. Sometimes if a user gets logged out of iTunes, it causes some strange problems. And so what most people do who are using Casper use to do this now is there's an app on all of these devices that are enrolled called self-service. So basically what self-service is an app store that we can put apps into. So it's what we've decided. So, and it works by who's logged into the iPad. So at South, we have like math, science, etc., and then also the whole school. So we can put the math apps into this self-service, the science apps, and that stuff. And especially for those devices that are only 16 gig, you're really going to start to take up space the more we try to put on there. So if they're doing a project and only need a few apps, we can have those on there. Then you're able to remove them and then install other apps that are in the self-service kind of as you go. So I'd be interested in what you guys' thoughts are on that and if you think that workflow would be okay.
So,
Bubba's muted.
oh, no, Tim?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm on my math iPad,
Mhm.
I hit a button, I hit an app called self-service, and then in there are like my 20 apps that I currently use.
Correct. Yep. So basically, instead of us forcing it to push out, because we have found that that's only working some of the time, and if it doesn't work on one iPad, we have to go through and find where that failure was. As we talked to our account rep when we were there too, that starts to clog up the server and slow some things down because it's constantly trying to do something that's failing, and it will retry every minute. So by doing this in self-service, it allows you to go out and you can tell the kids, hey, go to this and then download these apps. This is what we're going to use. And so it frees up space on the iPad too. If you need to save some stuff to do some things for that you're working on a project, all the space isn't taken up by applications.
Yeah, I see no problem with that. I see no problem with clicking one app and then you see 20 in front of you and you pick the one you want. I don't, at least with our math and science, anybody else, I don't see that an issue in our building.
I think it's going to work very well. And from my understanding, they're going to be making it soon where we can brand it. So we'll be able to put like the PLC logo and some stuff on there to kind of make it stand out. It's already on all of them, so you can open it now, and the only thing that's in there is I've built a profile for if like a teacher has one, it has the Office 365 settings on it, so you can click it, and all it does is ask for your username and password, and then helps you set up your mail. But so that's basically it. It is like the Apple App Store, except it's the apps that we've decided can go in there, and then it doesn't require a password. Kids are just able to install what's in there and be able to use those apps.
Do you need the math or science or anybody to resend you the apps that they want in there, or do you have that list?
Nope. So all I have to do right now, I have it set where it's on an automatic push, and the change is I just go into the apps and say change to self-service, and so they'll stay on there, and they'll stay on there, and then if you remove it, it will actually allow you to remove it where it won't force it to re-download, and if you needed it again, you just go get it from self-service. So really, it's just like the App Store, except it's what we're putting in there that are approved apps or apps that your teachers have requested.
Yeah. So a kid can delete it. You said
they can, and then you can just have to go back into self-service and turn it back on or and re-download it.
Oh yeah. So you know what? If you just want to go ahead and push that out to Papio South, that's fine. Okay. And I'll email the math and science teacher and say, hey, just go to the self-service app and you'll be back to normal.
Yep, and I can come out and show you some stuff if you want to get a little bit more in-depth training on that. And
would that be best for you? You want to do that before we push it out, or you want to just push it out then come check it?
Well, I'll push it out, and then I can come out and show you how it works, because that way you can see how it works with downloading and stuff. It's pretty slick.
And they won't lose any data or anything they already have on those apps, will they?
Correct. They will not. Nope. That's all saved on the iPad.
Yep. I'm fine with that, and I'll let them know today that.
Excuse me.
Yeah. What's that? I haven't seen it. But what color is that app?
The app, it's like a red. It's white and has like red, blue, and green. It's kind of a weird looking. It looks like kind of like the Casper logo, which you probably haven't seen. Excuse me, but on every iPad, it should be on the first icon on the second screen is self-service.
Okay. Nope. I'm at our building, Tim. I'm fine with that. And
Okay.
If it doesn't work, I'll deal with the teachers and we'll make it work, and we'll just go that way because I think they'll be fine with it. If that's easy for you, that it'll be easy for us.
I agree. I think at LVJH we should have the same thing. So, Tim, if you or Anna could come out and just walk me through it, I'm more than willing to go ahead with that for all of our iPads.
Hey, Tim, would that be the same for iPods as well?
Tim, quit muting yourself. I think that's what's happening. I think every time you mute, I have to unmute.
I got into a coughing spell, and I didn't want you guys to have to hear me hacking up a lung, so I muted myself. And apparently, I can't unmute myself once I mute myself. My wife would love this button, just for the record. Yeah, so La Vista Junior, I got you guys PLSHS, and then yeah. So for the iPods, that was a great question. As long as they are in Casper, that we're managing them, then yes, they would fall under that same situation.
Cool.
Hey, Tim.
Yeah.
And this hopefully might be for everybody. I know at least secondary, we're getting a lot of kids who are using, well, at least we're trying to get them to use Office 365 and the whole package with that.
Yep.
At some point, do you think it's just best to put Office 365, OWA, or the Outlook app, Excel, PowerPoint, anything with Office, just automatically in self-service?
Yeah, we can put it in self-service, absolutely. Yeah, we can, and we can make that open to the district, which is something that Anna and I had kind of already talked about.
Okay.
We just really started to get this figured out. So
My thought that should be a non-negotiable on all the iPads we buy. Word, PowerPoint, Excel, OneDrive, those should all just be put on.
So the question for those are, since those are critical apps that we want everyone to be able to use, would we want those still in self-service, or would you want those pushed where they can't be removed so it wouldn't impede a student from doing something?
Yeah, I think
we can mix.
Personally, I think that we can just have those those don't need to be self-service. I think those apps should just be on every iPad.
Right, I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And any app, even at South, if you have one app or a math app that is, we're really using this and we don't want it takes too long to re-download or something of that nature, we can mix this. We can push some stuff out and still have self-service. Just the more self-service we use, the less space we're going to take up on that iPad, and some other things that we'll kind of get to go as we go along. We'll get to show you guys, but yeah, I'll definitely talk to Anna. We'll be able to come out and help South and the Vista Junior with that stuff.
So Tim, tomorrow will math or anybody using these be able to use self-service tomorrow?
They will. Nothing's going to look different. Self-service is already on there.
Okay.
And so really the only difference would be any new app, or if an app gets deleted, what you would do is to go get it, you would just go into self-service. And so I'm going to try to grab this picture here of self-service and throw it in the chat so you guys can see what it looks like. Let's see if this works.
And I can make you a presenter here, Tim.
Oh, I was just trying to get this one little. My computer is not very happy. I'm trying to work too hard. Here we go. Do you guys have any other questions about Casper?
All right, then I think what we're going to do is I have made Leah a presenter so she can share out her desktop. If you do have other questions about Casper or things you want to try with it, get a hold of Tim.
You guys are talking all that.
He can answer any questions and come out and work with you on that. I'm going to hand it over to Leah. She had a couple gradebook things, so Leah, I've made you a presenter if you want to share out your desktop.
Okay. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, awesome. Yeah, this is kind of a weird feeling. Can you see the gradebook screen?
No, I don't know if you're sharing it out yet. You have to, that computer monitor?
Yeah, how about now? Yeah.
No.
No?
That's currently presenting on the top of my monitor.
Oh, hold on. There it goes.
Yep, I see it.
Awesome. I'm using Cindy's account right now. Hey, I sent out these real quick. This is real quick. I won't take a lot of time. I sent out the enhancements at the beginning of the year, or intended to, and I think I just sent these to you guys a few weeks ago. Not a lot to talk about, but in the report section here, you now do have the ability to download your classes. If I scroll a little bit, I don't know how fast you can see my screen. You can see there's quite a bit of information there that you could download. You could download multiple, multiple classes at a time if you wanted to. I don't know, people might have programs that they might want to import this information into, or things like that. So that's a new feature. In class email, I don't know if everybody knows, but you can now email students and parents. But the student part goes just to their PAPLB email address. So just an FYI, it's not going to go to their Gmail or anything like that. And the other thing that's kind of cool is you can select different items down here. Also identify, let's say, on table schedule, it's incomplete, or they got a score of a 50 or below. You can email parents on that as well. So.
Hey, Leah.
Yeah.
On the, let's see here. If a teacher puts a 0 in the grade book, is that considered not graded?
Or it'll count against them.
It'll count as what?
It'll count against them. It'll count as a 0 in the grade book.
Is there one of those boxes that I can select, like table schedule and any zeros?
So are you saying if I pick table schedule here, and you filled in a 0 for Emily, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, say you put a 0 in because the kid was sick, they didn't get it done, and you, I don't know, just put a 0 in because you wanted to put a 0.
If you do that, it's going to drop their running grade. I would say if they were incomplete, I would use this incomplete box, and then use your email to notify your parent here that they have an incomplete assignment.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Otherwise, the running grade's going to drop in a hurry, and I mean that could get their attention as well, obviously. But if you get to take it out for semester grading, then you could really hurt somebody unintentionally,
Well, and the reason I say that is, like, for example, last week we had grade progress checks due, and we could not have an incomplete. Well, if a kid was gone for 2 days and I have the grades in, I just put zeros in, knowing that they have to make it up, but it wasn't. I mean, it's still incomplete in my mind, that 0.
Right. About the only other thing you could do would be to excuse it, which wouldn't count toward it at all, and then you could unexcuse it when they get their work done. You just have to remember to take those off.
Okay.
And it's not going to let you email in this section. It's going to exclude anything that's set to excuse. But I mean, if the kid's a good student and you've got it under control, that would be okay.
Okay.
This is really more intended for the kid that's always got stuff late or incomplete, and you're wanting to tag the parent, hey, do you know this is going on, kind of thing. So.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Cool. Moving on. In the finalized grades section, this has been something for me personally that has been kind of a big deal. Every now and then someone will get their final report card grades submitted, and then they realize, oh, I forgot to score that quiz that I wanted to show, in this group of grades. And so to take them out, they used to have to click delete right here on every single grade, which is a huge job. And so now you can just say set all to delete, and don't worry, Cindy, I'm not going to delete your grade, but I could say set all to delete and hit save, and boom, that just deleted all of the grades out, and then you can resubmit. So if you've ever experienced that phenomenon, you know why. That's a big deal. So that's another FYI. Jumping back over into View Students by Assignment, this right here has been relabeled. It used to say reset. And a lot of people didn't understand that reset meant delete. It actually deletes all the scores. So now it's actually marked delete. So if you do want to delete something, you just check it. You can delete your whole class in one fell swoop, or you can pick a couple kids if you need to and delete a score. All right, I'm almost done. The last thing I wanted to show you is if you are doing any kind of attendance tracking. Well, she's a cute girl, isn't she? Can you guys see that screen? See the picture of the girl?
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you click on attendance now, you can now see for your students their total absent and total tardy, and you can see it by the days of the week, which is kind of cool. And if you pull this down, you can easily switch to another student real quickly. If you're trying to see, well, just how much has this student been gone, it gives you a quick picture. And then down here, it gives you dates. So up here is periods, and down at the bottom here are dates. So just some quick little pieces of enhancements out there that I wanted to share with you guys. And I know that all of you are very good users, but you know, it's good information to have. I'll open it up to any quick questions if you have any. There are none. That's awesome.
Well, I want to thank you guys for jumping on today. I think all three of those things were probably things that we needed to get done and information we had to get out to you. So I will look for your emails about who's going to get access to Windows 10 or who we're going to do the update for. And then we'll talk lab in December sometime and kind of go from there. So is there anything else anybody else wanted to talk about or bring up?
Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
We had that, no, not issue, but with OneDrive moving folders over to OneDrive now. Is that a for sure thing for the staff that are getting switched to the whatever view, the new view?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I sent a video out last week. OneDrive is starting to change the look of OneDrive. They're going to a kind of a different model. So previously we had to show the ribbon, and then from the ribbon you could open it up in Explorer view. That is no longer available in the new view. But the nice thing is the web view now allows you to move folders from the testing we've done. We have only seen, or I've only heard about maybe 10 to 20 people who have been switched over to the new view. So we're kind of learning this as we go. I mean, that's one of the downsides of going with a cloud-based system. They put out new tools, and then we kind of find out about them on the back end. So if you do have questions, I think I probably need to come out and see it, or if you can take some video of it. But we're kind of learning as we go with that new view to OneDrive.
Thanks, Bill.
Something that I saw today when I was working with 7th graders getting into OneDrive for the first time, it looked like a handful of them, when they would go into OneDrive, it's changed their view, and I'm assuming this is the new view, and instead of documents as their title, it's saying files now. It seemed to work exactly the same, but just a heads up to everyone else if that starts happening to your kids.
Yeah, I don't think Melissa, I don't even think I noticed that until you just said it, and I think you're absolutely right. I think they changed the title of that.
So it's just something different, kind of threw a couple kids off, but it worked exactly the same as before. It just has a different look.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill or Melissa, is there any way one of you could take a snapshot of what that looks like? Because I haven't seen it in our building yet, but I would like to maybe put it in our announcements to let people know that, hey, if this happens,
yes. So here's what I did. Last Tuesday, I created a quick little video with the new look, and I can send that out. I can make sure that gets out to everybody as well. Let me see if I can find it. I'll make sure that gets out here by the end of the day, so you guys can at least see what the new look looks like.
Thanks, Bill. And you know what? I'm pretty sure I have that because I remember you sent it out last week.
Yeah, it went out to secondary tech contacts. So
Yeah.
it's just a quick little video I did with SNP that highlights some of the differences. Anything else? All right. Well, thank you guys so much for jumping on, and I appreciate all your hard work. I know when technology items come up, you guys save us a lot of time because you're willing to take a lot of those, and they don't even get to our desk. So I do appreciate that, and I want to thank you guys for the time you've put in this fall. You guys have a good one, and we'll talk later, I'm sure.
All right. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. See you guys.
Bye.